space, fingers tracing old porcelain rims, while the memory softly swims. Shadows learn to rest. We leave behind the quiet test, rain washing away the heavy day. In this room, the world fades away. The amber glow of a lonely wick makes the heavy air feel not so thick. An old love letter under the cup, no need to ever pick it up. Where the shadows learn to rest, we leave behind the quiet test. The amber light dances on the wall, catching time before it falls. Let the night take what it needs, silence planting silver seeds. Just a breath, a quiet sigh, underneath the velvet sky, where the shadows learn to rest. Just a breath. The silver needle finds the groove, watching how the shadows move. A folded map across my knee, tracing roads to memory. Hands so worn they smooth the crease, finding in the paper piece every town we never saw, held within this quiet awe. amber street lamp paints the floor. I don't need to wander more, folding up the miles we planned, resting in the steady hand. Let the midnight steal the pain, safe from all the falling rain. Time can wait, the world can fall within these quiet wooden walls. A glowing coal within the grate tells me that it's getting late. Nothing lost and nothing kept, only secrets we have slept within these quiet wooden walls. Just the rain. The city sleeps beneath the gray, washing all the rush away. I watch the drops begin to trace silver lines across this place. A velvet cloth, a pocket watch, polishing the time we caught. The golden hands refuse to spin, keeping all the quiet in. Leave the heavy thoughts behind. Only gentle shadows bind where the rain weaves the night. Everything is feeling right. Copper lantern by the door paints a halo on the floor. Its orange breath, a steady flame, whispering a forgotten name. Leave the heavy thoughts behind. Only gentle shadows bind where the rain weaves the night. We are hidden out of sight. No urgent bells, no whistling train, just the rhythm of the rain. The ticking stops, the world slows down in this sleepy secret town. Where the rain lays heavy on the page, leaving behind the crowded stage. The final word begins to fade into the quiet we have made. A tired hand lays down the pen, no need to trace the paths again, smoothing the white unwritten sheets as silence covers up the streets. Where the ink meets the night, the heavy burdens turn to light. We watch the passing hours go, letting the heavy river flow. The chest invites the restless mind to rest. Its copper glow is soft and deep, guiding the lonely hours to sleep. Where the ink meets the night, the heavy burdens turn to light. We watch the passing hours go, letting the heavy river flow. No looking back, no more to say. We give the fading ghosts away. The morning waits beyond the screen, pure and unseen. Where the ink meets the night, let it go. Midnight curtains catch the breeze, starlight filters through the trees. The world outside is fast asleep in the secrets that the shadows keep. Worn fingers turn a heavy brass key on an old music box of mahogany. A tiny clockwork chime begins to play, washing the dust of the long day away. Where the ember haze unfolds, stories that the nighttime holds. Every heavy thought turns light, drifting deep into the velvet night. lost in silver rings, listening to what the silence brings. Clouds are resting on the windowsill, while the entire universe stands still, where the ember haze unfolds, stories that the nighttime holds. The street lamps paint a golden floor. We don't need to wander anymore. A glowing radio valve inside the dial warms the quiet corner for a while. Its soft orange breath defies the cold, a fragile late-night miracle to hold, where the ember haze unfolds. Just a breath, let it fade away. The evening folds its heavy hands at last, as twilight shadows blur the recent past. A single teacup cools upon the stone. In this quiet room I call my own. Safe within the echoing parlor's grace, time becomes a slow, unhurried space. We watch the heavy burdens drift away, letting go of all that broke the day. Wiping dust from an old leather spine, tracing paths where silver rivers twine. An orange filament glows in the dark, leaving on the wall a quiet mark. Safe within the echoing parlor's grace, time becomes a slow, unhurried space. The rain outside continues soft and low, teaching weary hearts to just let go. In the echoing parlor, let it drift. The city fades into a soft design as midnight crosses over every line. A silver key turns in the ancient clock, safe inside our quiet wooden block. Old gears align beneath a steady hand, slowing down the hours across the land. The copper pendulum swings high and low, teaching weary hearts to let it go. Deep within the sheltered corner's shade, we find the peace that never starts to fade. The midnight rain washes the world away, leaving only warmth at close of day. An amber lantern rests upon the floor. We do not hear the whispers anymore. The shadows dance in loops of orange light, guiding us softly through the velvet night. Deep within the sheltered corner's shade, we find the peace that never starts to fade. The midnight rain washes the world away, leaving only warmth at close of day. No pages left to turn, no words to write, just floating softly in the ember light. The morning waits far beyond the sea, leaving space for you and me. In the sheltered corner, let it rest. The storm outside begins to clear, leaving only silence here. The midnight hours start to bend, bringing the long day to an end. Wiping the rain from a brass latch, watching the quiet shadows match. A patient hand unrolls the thread, smoothing the worries from the head. Within the velvet safe haven's hold, The stories of the day unfold. We let the heavy memories slide, resting safely deep inside. Softly for its silent self, its orange flame defies the cold, a gentle miracle to hold. Within the velvet safe havens hold, the stories of the day unfold. The rushing world is left behind, gentle thoughts we find. No more paths we need to trace, we leave the noise without a trace. The velvet night is deep and wide, with nothing left to hide. In the velvet safe haven, let it drift away. The midnight rain begins to fall, tracing patterns on the old stone wall. Time is freezing in this quiet space, leaving no single hurried trace. A gentle hand winds up the brass gear, polishing a key from a forgotten year. The ancient clockwork starts to chime, holding back the rush of passing time. Deep within the forgotten alcove shade, we watch the heavy world begin to fade. The ticking heart of midnight slows its beat as silence covers up the lonely street. A tiny vacuum tube begins to glow, painting orange shadows soft and low. Dust motes dancing in the ember beam, floating like a half-remembered dream. Deep within the forgotten alcove shade, we watch the heavy world begin to fade. The ticking heart of midnight slows its beat as silence covers up the lonely voices calling out our name. Just the quiet dance of the candle flame. The morning waits far beyond the screen, pure, untouched and unseen. In a forgotten alcove, let it drift away. The heavy boots are left beside the door. The silver keys are resting on the floor. A single coal remains against the gray, watching the worries gently float away. Deep within the foggy sanctuary space, the rushing hours slow their frantic race. We drop the heavy anchors of the mind, leaving the noisy world far behind. An amber lantern paints a quiet arc, a glowing circle safe against the dark. No map to follow and no past to trace, just breathing softly in this hidden place. Deep within the foggy sanctuary space, the rushing hours slow their frantic race. We drop the heavy anchors of the mind, leaving the noisy world far behind. The misty windows keep the night outside, with nothing left to seek and not to hide. The morning waits until we choose to wake, for every gentle breath we take in the foggy sanctuary. Let it drift. The window sweeps the pavement clean of every ghost we haven't seen. A solitary solitary cup of tea grows cold beside the memory. Inside the rain-swayed room tonight, the heavy shadows lose their might. We watch the raindrops slide and fall, leaving no traces on the wall. A careful hand adjusts the blind, leaving the weeping streets behind. A golden candle stub burns low, teaching the restless night to go. Inside the rain-swayed room tonight, the heavy shadows lose their might. We watch the raindrops slide and fall, leaving no traces on the wall. No promises to keep or break, no sleeping dreams we have to wake. The velvet dark is wide and deep, lulling the lonely world to sleep. In the rain-swayed room, let it slide away. A velvet cloud drifts through the screen, painting corners completely unseen. The antique cups begin to float, carrying a silent midnight note. Worn hands trace the stardust line, where old clockwork gears align. A wooden star begins to gleam, spinning a slow mechanical dream. Lost inside the moonlit workshop's grace, time is just a floating space. We watch the heavy burdens rise, drifting deep into surreal skies. audio tube glows bright, defying the endless quiet night. Its warm glass breath protects the floor. We do not need to wander more, lost inside the moonlit workshop's grace. Time is just a floating space. The glowing lanterns, soft and deep, lull the lonely hours to sleep. No heavy maps, no steps to guide, with nothing left to seek or hide. The silver ceiling opens wide, resting safely deep inside. In the moonlit workshop, let it float away. The sky turns a deep neon jade as all the daylight colors fade. The rain begins to hum a sacred code, washing clean the forgotten road. Deep within the moss-covered sanctuary's frame, the midnight storm forgets its storming name. We watch the emerald water gently gleam, lost inside a quiet living dream. Worn hands weave the loose woolen thread, smoothing out the static in the head. Every drop that taps the glass pane sings away the lingering pain. A sudden match sparks an orange flame, lighting up the corners without a blame. The tiny lantern breathes a copper light, guiding us through the surreal night. In the moss-covered sanctuary, let the emerald water stay. starts to chime. We step outside the rush of time. A single shadow on the floor. We lock the heavy wooden door. Deep in the quiet attic corner shade, we watch the ghosts of yesterday fade. The world is spinning far away. We let go of the crowded day. Polish an old copper key, unlocking the chest of sweet memory. No letters left that we must write, just floating softly in the night. Deep in the quiet attic corner shade, we watch the ghosts of yesterday fade. The world is spinning far away. We let go of the crowded day. An orange oil lamp starts to glow, painting the rafters soft and low. Its warm breath swallows up the chill, while the whole wide universe stands still. In the quiet attic corner, let it fade away. The city maps begin to blur and fade into the weightless night that we have made. Gravity lets go of all our fears, washing away the dust of heavy years. Lost in the midnight observatory space, we watch the constellations slow their race. The heavy inkwell rises from the floor. We don't belong to yesterday anymore. crowded highway ends. An orange neon valve begins to glow, teaching the restless floating heart to know. Lost in the midnight observatory space, we watch the constellations slow their race. The heavy inkwell rises from the floor. We don't belong to yesterday anymore. A golden ember breaks against the dark, leaving a tiny, short-lived glowing mark. The endless velvet sky is deep and clear, with nothing left to fear. In the midnight observatory, let it all float away. The grandfather clock winds down its spring, letting go of every heavy thing. The midnight wind carries a silent prayer, dissolving into the cool dark air. A gentle finger smooths an old silk fold, releasing all the weights we used to hold. The silver watch face catches the moon, humming a deeply quiet tune. Safe inside the dust-lit corner's room, where midnight flowers gently bloom. The rushing hours turn to gold, leaving behind the stories told. An orange filament breathes its last, shedding the shadows of the past. The copper lantern guides the weary eye underneath the steady, dreaming sky. Safe inside the dust-lit corner's room, where midnight flowers gently bloom. The rushing world has closed its gates as the peaceful morning waits. No steps to follow, no lines to trace. We find our rest in this hidden space. The heavy anchors slide below, teaching the soul to let it go. drift away. The last key turns within the rusted lock, silencing the endless chatter of the clock. We lay the heavy iron keys aside, with nothing left to seek and not to hide. Deep inside the soft velvet lounge's peace, the crowded thoughts of daylight find release. We watch the drifting smoke rings fade away, letting go of all that bound the day. Worn fingers sweep the dust off copper rings, accepting all the quiet that the evening brings. An amber filament glows warm inside the dial, slowing down the spinning world a while. Deep inside the soft velvet lounge's peace, the crowded thoughts of daylight find release. We watch the drifting smoke rings fade away, letting go of all that bound the day. No maps to guide our footsteps through the dark, no lines to cross, no heavy words to mark. The endless velvet night is clear and deep, lulling the waking soul to sleep. In the soft velvet lounge, let it all dissolve. Midnight rain paints silver lines where the stardust slowly aligns. The world is folding up its care, floating softly in the dark air. Deep within The celestial tea room space. Time forgets its frantic race. The heavy anchors are left behind. Only gentle shadows wind. Worn fingers hold a porcelain cup. No need to ever look it up. The steam carries a quiet tune underneath a paper moon. Deep within the celestial tea room space, time forgets its frantic race. The heavy anchors are left behind. Only gentle shadows wind. An orange radio valve glows warm, keeping us safe from the midnight storm. The endless velvet sky opens wide, with nothing left to hide. In the celestial tea room, let it float away. The day surrenders its final crown as purple twilight dresses the town. The shadows lengthen upon the stone, leaving the heavy thoughts alone. Worn fingers wind a copper spool of thread, quieting the endless maze inside the head. A silken ribbon falls with easy grace, slowing the breath within this hidden place. Deep underneath the whispering rafters shade, we let the outlines of tomorrow fade. The world is turning its heavy fragile spark against the velvet dark, leaving a peaceful silent mark under the whispering rafters. Let it all drift. Under the whispering. The wind is gathering the fallen leaves, sighing softly through the wooden eaves. An empty chair beside the cooling grate reminds the room that it is getting late. Worn fingers trace the pattern of the wood, wishing the quiet could be understood. A silver needle drops into the line, weaving a sad but beautiful design. Deep in the rain, washed parlors gentle hold, the heavy stories of the year unfold. We watch the autumn raindrops slide and fall, leaving a soft reflection on the wall. An orange lantern flickers on the stand, casting a shadow like a friendly hand. Its warm glass breath protects the lonely space, wiping the recent sorrow from the face. Deep in the rain, washed parlors gentle hold, the heavy stories of the year unfold. We watch the autumn raindrops slide and fall, leaving a soft reflection on the wall. No steps to count, no roads we have to share, just floating quietly in the dark air. The silver midnight covers up the track, with no path leading back. In the rain, washed parlor, let it fade into the dark.